Alright, boys. So I just got done doing the Rockbreaker dungeon or whatever. And the video's on YouTube or whatever. It's an hour and a half long. So just be warned, it's a long piece of content, and depending on how many times your group has done the content is going to determine in which how fast you can get it done. So the general part of it is that you have the the exclusive, and you have shared. So the exclusive one is a private instance, if you will, right? Whereas the shared is the PvP zone. The PvP zone will yield you higher quality of rock in the asteroid, and the exclusive one will give you a lower yield. So yield is the same, I think. Actually, I'm sorry, it's the quality of the rock that's the difference. So PvP zone equals better quality rock. No PvP equals lesser quality rock. So basically, the ideal setup here is you're going to want an Idris, and yes, you're going to want an Idris for this, okay? And the reason why, it doesn't even have to be combat unless you're doing, the PvP zone, right? So basically, what you would want to do with the Idris, right, is you would want to buy extra mining bags for your what's it called here? Mole and your prospectors, so your mining ships, right? So you want to buy the extra bags for your mole and your mining ships, right? And your prospectors, whatever, right? And as you mine the rock out after you do the mission, right? You're gonna want to swap the bags out inside of the Idris, okay? And that way you can keep mining without having to go back or whatever, right? So there's that. The reason why the cutlass is on the list is because if you're gonna farm the components that you need to do the mission, right, then you need the cutlass in order to have a grid to attach them to, right? If you don't want to use a cutlass, right, you can also use Star Runner, right? So some type of a cargo ship of the medium size or whatever that will allow you to store the components that you find inside of Rockbreaker. So what some people do is they'll mine or just farm the components, right? And then they'll just get a new mission, and they will use the components that they have farmed to make the mission faster. So that's a thing, apparently. Okay, so that's essentially very short and sweet little fleet here, right? You have your mining, you have your miners, you have your cargo to put stuff in, and if you're going to do the PvP missions, this is what I recommend, right? So the environment in which the station is in is very, very cloudy, and it's very, very dark and dense, right? So it has natural camouflage. So you can essentially run a lot of shit as long as you can stay out of the signature range without them scanning you or finding you. So there's two ways of going about it, doing the PvP strategy. So the first strat is you do it yourself because you have a mega size org or whatever, right? And it's easy for you to keep fighters in the air the entire time, right? Then, or if you want to just let the other, you can just go in with all stealth ships, right? And you can just wait for the rock to be done or whatever, right? And then just kill everybody, right? As soon as they start, as soon as the laser starts firing, just start blowing up all the people ships outside of the station, right? And at that point, you're free to do what you want, like, go inside, hunt them, wait for them to come outside and try to retaliate. Personally, in my opinion, since there's no medical bed in the PvP zone Rockbreaker, you would want to just kill their ships and kind of like control the flow of respawn, if you will, right? So basically, the people that are inside the station will either, kill themselves to go get ships to come back and kill you, right? Or whatever, right? But regardless, both teams are going to need some type of mining fleet or whatever. Piracy, I mean, sure, you can, but, you're just fucking yourself in the long run. So bring your own mining fleet. If you're going to do this content, I just recommend going. This is something that's usually against what we do over here at Renegade, but this piece of particular content, there is just no fucking reason to do it solo. All right, and it's not like you can warp back and forth, right? You know what I'm saying? So it's more beneficial to have a group. I mean, if you're gonna do it solo, right? Like, let's say you're a super space. Here's the rule to the exception, which is a guy like me, right? So you not only do you have a big wallet, but you also have a big dick and the skill, right? So you could definitely do it solo in the exclusive zone. That's not a problem. But there's just no way you're going to be able to do it as a solo in the shared zone. It's just not going to happen. All right. I mean, someone out there is probably going to listen to that and like figure out some kind of sociopathic little fucking mind game to play to make it seem like they can do it solo in the PvP zone. But whatever. Anyway, the chances of you doing it solo in the PvP zone is very, very, like, almost 0%. I wouldn't even bother doing it, honestly, because there's just so many moving parts to this mission. There's so much ground to cover, right? And, of course, you've got to actually mine the shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, once you crack the rock. So, again, doing it solo really means nothing for this particular piece of content, all right? And I can't stress that enough. But at the same time, if you really, really want to, I mean, sure, go for it. But it's going to take you all fucking night.